Hey, what's going on? It's Sketchy Live Monday.
How are you?
Oh, man, we're so glad that you're here. Another Monday night. We have got a great guest in store for you, a returning guest.
Ooh,
that's always fun when somebody is willing to come back to Sketchy Live. I'm John Jalopy, hot rod artist, and with me, as always, my beautiful wife, the linchpin, the lynch mob, the lynch of all lynches. It's Ity-B.
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
Great week this past week. Halloween.
Oh, yeah, Halloween.
Fun stuff.
Yep.
But
trick or treats.
Yeah.
Smell my feet.
Candy.
Give me something.
Yeah.
I'm so over candy.
Yeah, you're eating it.
I know. I don't even like it.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, we've got an amazing guest tonight. You know him, you love him. It's Menace is on the broadcast tonight. Coming back. We just came back from the week before the Show Me Lowbrow art show there in Missouri, and had a phenomenal time. And so Menace was like, "Hey, man, great show. We had so much fun." And we're like, "Get on let's talk about what's going on, what his takeaways were, what our takeaways were." Just so much stuff we want to talk about as far as the show, and then of course his art in general. He's been, and then maybe he'll tease us with a little bit of what's going on with maybe new projects. I know if you're not aware, he had some van stuff happen, and I think there might be a new van in the mix, I think, or something like that. I overheard. I don't know. It could be wrong.
We don't want to guess. We're gonna hear.
So we're gonna hear. Oh, you're calling him a horse? That's mean. already insulting him.
Right.
So, without further ado, welcome to the broadcast. It's Menace.
Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you doing, guys?
Thorazinetwostep.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, man, we're excited that you're here. Hey,
yes.
Can you tell everybody out there, how did you get the name? You may have talked about it last time.
You told me, but I forgot.
We got some new viewers and stuff. So how did you? It's such a cool, because we all know Dennis the Menace, the lovable cartoon character, and then also became a TV show.
But he's not Dennis the Menace. He's just Dennis Menace.
I understand that. So let's find out from the Menace's mouth. How did that all come about?
Well, and it's funny, I actually, I have an older brother, and he's like 2.5 years older than me. And before I was born, my parents asked my older brother, "What do you want to name your little brother?" And his favorite toy at the time was this Dennis the Menace toy doll.
Okay.
That was, blonde haired, the blonde haircut, the Dennis the Menace haircut with the overalls, blah, 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 blah. And it was his, teddy bear, basically, was this Dennis the Menace doll.
Okay.
And so they said, "What do you want to name your little brother?" And he said, "Dennis." And so I was literally named after Dennis the Menace.
So there you go.
So I've been a menace since birth.
So it is not a coincidental name by any means.
Absolutely not.
It is specifically.
And my mom actually, my full name, and I'm actually not going to say my middle name, but my full name is Dennis M. My full name is Dennis M. Jackson.
Okay.
So she didn't want to name me Menace. She used another M name.
Okay.
But it's actually Dennis M. Jackson. Like that's, the M in my middle name is because of Menace.
That's funny.
That is too cool.
Now, did you live up to that?
I got into punk rock when I was in my teenage years, and I really, most punk rockers have nicknames. Like Robo and Jerry Only, and just all these different nicknames for punk rockers. So my obvious nickname was just Menace.
Okay.
Just strictly Menace. It wasn't Dennis the Menace. It was just so people would walk up and go, "What's your name?" And I'd say Menace. And then I absolutely tried to live up to it.
And then they knew you were trouble.
Right. And as a teenager, I was a lot of trouble, you know.
We're a handful. We were all handful.
And I honestly started doing a couple band flyers and things like that when I was a teenager, and I decided that would be my pen name too.
Gotcha.
Would be Menace. I decided that back then.
Nice.
So that's too cool.
That is.
Yeah, it's not a nickname. It's not. It's actually.
I'm even more curious about the thorazine two-step. So explain to people what that is.
You don't know what that is?
He told me once and I forgot.
Okay.
And I know it's
okay. Thorazine's a tranquilizer.
Mm-hmm.
And when they put somebody on thorazine, that individual will do the thorazine two-step or the thorazine shuffle. And since it's a tranquilizer, you know, like if you're on thorazine, you will be shuffling along because you will be, you know, doped up, probably drooling. You know, you can look up thorazine shuffle in the Urban Dictionary.
Huh.
And then, you know, there was a band named Thorazine Shuffle. So I was like, well, you know, I can't take that name. And I knew this old kind of punk hippie guy. And he goes, yeah, you know, they used to call it Thorazine two-step too. And I was like, perfect. You know, I looked it up. It wasn't registered with anybody. And I said, yeah, I'm taking that.
Nice.
That's cool.
It actually stems from mental institutions.
Oh.
You know, because mental institutions typically, if they have a violent patient, they'll put them on the tranquilizer thorazine and have them do the thorazine two-step. And so in my younger years, I visited a few of those and actually did the thorazine two-step a few times.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's really, for me, it's just kind of a joke.
Gotcha.
For where I was and what I went through and where I am now.
Right.
Yeah.
In a totally different place.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. A
Which is
totally
awesome.
different individual in a totally different place.
Well, man, we're glad that you're here. We're so excited to talk to you and hear more about you. We want to talk more about the show. Let's hear who's on the broadcast before we get a little further.
Let us announce a few people. We got Frank Pupello joining us.
What's
Welcome,
up,
sir.
Frank?
He said, hey, Bertha, quick, fry up some French fries. It's time for Sketchy Live. I love French fries.
French fries, that'd be great.
Paul Marziani joining us. How are you two doing? We are great, Paul. Hope you're doing well. Guy Hodges, greetings from historic Farmersville, Texas. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Texas.
We've got Gordon joining us. Hello to both of you from Vicky and I in Washington State tonight.
What's going on?
We're going to have to do a Where in the World is Gordon?
Right.
Sam Metro joining us. What up, Johnny Jalopy Army peeps?
What's up, Sam?
Paul Marziani has called this Reese's Cup season.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. We've got Cameron McNulty joining us from Wyoming.
Hello,
Mesmerizing Custom Models.
What's up, brother?
He says, did a couple Halloween videos for my models. Your cartoons have inspired me since Ian made the real car from your cartoon.
Nice.
Welcome.
We'll pop over there and check those out.
Chris Smolinski joining us. Hello, sir. Dan Evans checking in from Dunedin.
What's up, Dan and possibly Mary?
Possibly Mary. Michael Overby. What's up, everyone? Checking in from Lake Michigan. One of one.
One of one.
And Robert Shane. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Welcome. If you are joining us just now, we have Dennis Menace on the broadcast with us, our fan favorite artist in Missouri.
Yeah.
And he's going to be sharing with us some cool stuff. So, Menace.
He is the were you so show number one, what inspired you to do
Show Me Lowbrow Art one?
Show Me Lowbrow Art show. There was three of us, myself, Joseph Pfeiffer, and Dave King, that for years the three of us were discussing potentially doing something like this, doing an art show, not a car show, just an art show on Kustom Kulture. And we discussed it, and everybody had their ideas and whatnot, and I was really the only one who was an active artist and actively friends and becoming friends with, many an artist and magazine and, whatnot. And, I just really wanted to, I spearheaded the whole thing. Joe and Dave has always been in the background, kind of helping make decisions. And so is Joe now. And I have a few other people in the background helping me make decisions on the show, but I basically spearheaded the show and was like, let's do it. And, so that was the beginning, of the ideas. I mean, obviously these shows went on. Dennis McPhail has put on a show at his Artist at Large tattoo. My buddy Pat Lannis had put on a show in Kansas City for a couple years, and he's very instrumental in helping me. There was most of these shows would happen though not in the Midwest, but out in California,
right? Yep.
And there just wasn't a lot in the Midwest, and also, like, I wanted something that I didn't have to travel out of town to. To be
there
honest,
you selfish son of
a. and really, what I'm trying to do is I'm just throwing a lowbrow custom culture party, and I'm inviting 25 of my closest artist friends.
Right.
And it's an end of the car show season lowbrow art bash. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Gotcha. And that's totally what it felt like.
Yeah. Well, so was Bevo Mills the location that was like your original? I know you had it.
We had a different location the first year.
What
we had this? It was a safe building at one point.
Okay.
That was owned by some friends of friends, and they allowed us to do the art show there.
Cool.
And then they weren't going to be available the next year. And then actually Dave King was the one that was friends with some people at Das Bevo and said, hey, you should check that out. And so Joe and I went and checked it out, and we ended up talking to them and discussing it with them, and said, yeah, we want to do an art market. We're calling it an art show, but it's really an art market. And because we're going to have, the artists there. We pride ourselves on having our artists there that you can meet and buy stuff from in person.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons we keep the show free to the public, because we want the public to spend money with the artists and spend money on the show merchandise, and also spend money with Das Bevo, because Das Bevo serves food and drink all day.
Right.
Amazing stuff.
But we went into Das Bevo, and it's the building itself, just the outside is amazing, because there's a windmill on the outside.
Such a sick.
It was built by the Bush family, so it has a long history with beer barons.
Right.
And it was a speakeasy at one point during Prohibition.
I could totally see that.
And it just has a long history in St. Louis. And the inside is completely eclectic. And, there's like ornate carved wooden faces and just antlers and just weird things on the wall. And
stained glass.
And the murals, right? The frescoes.
So cool.
Yeah.
And we were just, at first I was like, man, I don't know. And then I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, most of it's weird.
Yeah.
I was like, I think the artists will love this, you know, and I think it's a great, atmosphere. And
it is. It very much so. I the first time getting to go there, to be fortunate enough to be that was the first experiences at Das Bevo. First, I was like, it's in a what and where is it? And then as soon as we pulled up to the property, I was like, oh, this is like a freaking like German beer garden type.
Right.
Oh, it's gonna be sick. This is a beer garden.
And then they've come to find out that it's open food and they got an open bar and the bar is cool. And the best part,
well, you got a paper drink.
Of course,
not
that's okay.
open.
But
open bar. That means
the
that
bar is
somebody's...
sorry, the bar is open. The bar is serving bar.
There you go. That's better.
And the people that are working there are such cool people, and they're so friendly, and the food and drink amazingly good.
Pretzels.
And so for a fat guy, I was like, oh, heaven! And I get to show my art at this place. This is so cool. And then to have like this multi-level thing going on, which was I think it's such a cool deal. Like where it's a little bit of like there's the secret place down below that all the cool kids are hanging out in, and then you got the top part where it's open, it's bright, and then it's it's just there's like two different vibes, but at the same time it's the same thing going on, and it's such a neat place. So you did a phenomenal job picking a venue.
Indeed,
and hopefully it continues to stay there. Because what a neat place.
I want to keep it there. I mean, it's basically that boils down to as long as we're making Das Bevo happy,
right?
That boils down to that. So
sure.
But I love the venue, and I don't want to, I would love to continue to go there. Das Bevo was very happy with us the last 2 years. They enjoyed it.
Good.
And they were very happy with us, and they have already given me a date for next year. So,
oh wow.
Ooh, yay.
Okay. Very cool.
I think it's cool too that it's on a Sunday, because a lot of people go to shows, and like car shows are usually on Saturdays. Right. And then to have this as a one-day event on a Sunday when people maybe don't have things planned, and they're like, oh, let's go traipse around. Is it Gravois? Gravois.
Yeah.
Because it's such a cool little area. There's so many other things around.
Well, St. Louis, if you're visitors to St. Louis, like, I know I haven't gotten to talk to you guys about St. Louis, but the St. Louis Zoo is free. The St. Louis Science Museum is free. The St. Louis Art Museum is free. The planetarium is free.
Wow.
And all of that is in Forest Park, and very close, not too far away.
What the hell, Hicks? I said, what the hell, Hicks?
Our host didn't take us to those places.
I tell you, he's a hillbilly, and he doesn't get into the city very much.
You're right.
I love Hicks, but
he took us to Hannibal. We went to Hannibal.
Exactly. He took you to Dan on Boone's. Yeah,
right.
It was great.
Right. So, and there's also this place that does cost a minor fee to get in, and it's called the City Museum. And it is just a virtual playland for adults and kids alike. They got a slide that goes like 3 stories. I mean, it's like it's basically virtual art exhibits all throughout, like 3 or 4 levels. There's a bus hanging off the top, a school bus hanging off the top of the roof of the building that you can walk into. The City Museum is absolutely incredible. But yeah, St. Louis has some cool stuff going on.
St. Louis management, if you're listening, Menace is giving you a great thumbs up.
Well, I'm from St. Louis, and I love St. Louis. So
then we play the jingle, Visit St. Louis.
That's because Missouri's the show me state. So so we're we love Missouri, so we're proud of it. So we called the show the Show Me Lowbrow.
Yeah.
Well, we like the fact it's like you said, Midwest. So for like us in Florida, it's not out of the way for us to get there, which is awesome. Versus like heading to California or something like that and trying to
spend longer. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to have because unfortunately there's not a lot of this kind of thing happening in the East Coast area, for at least East South, let's say, in the South.
He's
area.
Talking about in a 50-mile radius of our house. There's nothing going on.
There's not a lot of car stuff in general, unfortunately. I mean, we're heading into our car show season here in our state, but
sure.
Like you said, it's it's kind of a wrap up for where it got cold and it was So yeah, I totally get it, and what a way to shut it all down, which is with a really cool art show, and I love how you.
What's a part
the way you,
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It is a party. and the way in design of how you set it up, and I think it's such an awesome showcase for like new artists. That was the part I was excited about.
He loves that.
Every year, like last year met new artists that I hadn't even heard of and seen, and got to see people's art and go, wow, this is amazing, this is great. If anybody's worried about the culture having any trouble of continuing, there's a lot of new faces that are coming out that are honing their skills,
young people too.
And I think it's great that this party allows for new people to see, or those folks to get a little bit of a show under their belt. Because I know, like last year, one of the guys I had spoke to wasn't sure like how to price his stuff, and was a little concerned to even sell this stuff. And it's really kind of such a great venue and such a cool atmosphere of like there's no rivalry stuff going on. Everybody's super stoked to see each other and kind of help each other out. And so you've made an amazing venue or event that is super positive and
supportive. Everybody was.
I love it, man. You've done a phenomenal job. So high five and hats off to you, man.
Thank you. What you're talking about with all the different artists, being different every year, like that is actually one of our intentions, is that every year we want to bring in as many different artists as possible. I mean, of course, we'd like to keep, some of the same artists, but we'd also like to introduce new artists to everyone.
Right.
And we really, for Das Vivo, we really have a maximum of about 25 artists. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a great number to be able to reach for. The first year we had 21 artists at the show. The second year we had 21 artists. And this year we actually had 22.
Wow.
So we stepped it up a little bit.
Right.
But we still have a little bit of room to grow.
Well, we've got Thomas Estrada on the broadcast tonight. He said, I got to get in on that show.
You would dig it, Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom, I've talked to Thomas. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thomas, we need you.
Yeah, for sure.
We'd love to see him again as well. We've got a couple. Do you mind if I?
Yeah, go for it. Okay. Catch us up.
Yeah, we've got Wesley Wilkerson joining us tonight. Must be Monday. I see Johnny. Yes, indeed.
It is.
Gordon LaFave. We are from Sunshine Moses Lake, Central Washington.
Well, welcome to the show.
Dennis Goff said, what a coinky dinky. My grandma lived near a guy who worked for Hank Ketchum, and my name is also Dennis M. Goff.
Very nice.
Middle of nowhere. Arlo Dillman on the broadcast tonight.
What's up, Arlo? Another amazing artist.
Yes. Looking forward to hear Dennis. Thank you, too. We've got Patrick Menerick on tonight as well.
What's going on?
James Olson from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Nice.
We've got Diane Kinnery. Hi, guys. Running late for tonight, but glad we made it.
What's up, Kinnerys?
Steve Heinrichs. What's up from Fat Boy Steve?
What's up?
Was that the guy that we met?
Was one we met a lot of people, but yes, that was one of them.
It was last year.
Yes,
at his place. Mm-hmm. Where was that brewery?
That was
Lamp.
Yes. That was a cool spot too. Yeah.
Howard Pierpont joining us, 57 and cloudy in next to the last night in Mineola. Mike Hicks, there he is. Hicks. Love you, Menace. Love St. Louis. I was born in the Lou.
I love you too.
According to Menace Hicks, you've got to get out of the sticks and take us to the city and show us. Apparently, there's a lot of free stuff to do.
Yes.
So, think of how much more Busch beer we could buy if we went to places that. Oh well, we got to make sure you're not. Yeah, never mind.
Don't even go there.
Hicks knows what I'm talking about. No photos.
Right.
So, Menace, have you given any more thought? I don't know if you coordinated the Saturday event that happened last year, but
no,
you didn't
coordinate that. No.
Oh.
Well, there was a Saturday event this year where there was like a pizza thing and stuff like that,
and we weren't able to go.
Oh, that was a private event, and I did coordinate that.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, maybe we weren't invited.
We were invited.
Oh.
No, but Hicks had his family thing. So
we went to that. That's why we didn't go. Yeah, I think that's
open to the public is what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's great to do that because like a lot of these
possibilities of having a band the night before that will be open to the public.
Okay.
To have as a potential pre-party. We're discussing it, like we're learning as we go.
Right.
I really wouldn't call myself a promoter. I'm not a promoter. I'm really winging this whole thing. And so I'm definitely learning and making mistakes and learning as I go. And it's something, the band thing is something I have always wanted to add that aspect. So I'm looking into it, I don't, actually, last week, Johnny, when you mentioned several times that it's not a car show, and you said it about as perfectly as any, better than I ever said it, and about as perfectly as anybody could, because it's really not a car show. I mean, in Kustom Kulture, we all go to car shows where the Kustom Kulture cars are the spotlight.
Right.
And artists are there supporting all of this.
Always.
And so what we are doing, as you said, is the flip side of that.
Yeah.
Where the lowbrow art of Kustom Kulture is the spotlight.
Yeah.
And we are hoping that the custom car, hot rod chopper community and general public will support what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be, there's an area that I think I would love to see grow, which is, because you and I have been to different shows where that is the case, where we go as artists to support the hot rod community and the Kustom Kulture community and the bike community and all that stuff, to be there to represent the whole culture in general, but the art side of what we do, but we're there to also be in support of all of that show going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be amazing if that could be turned the other way around, which is that car guys come out in droves, and gals and chopper guys and van dudes show up with all their
guys to drive their cars
with all their cool stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then just load the parking lot up with not a car show that are just there to support the artists and also immerse themselves in the art part of it too. It would be such an awesome vibe. And
yeah.
And I know there were some people that did drive their cars. I took a few photos of some stuff out in the parking lot, which was really cool. And those folks were proud to come.
Right.
And they were super, super excited to be there to support the artists too, which was cool.
That all is great, and when someone asks me specifically about showcasing car or whatnot, it's like, well, we don't have any room for that. We need all the can. We would love and encourage you to drive your car, but please don't set up a lawn chair in the parking lot.
Right. The show's inside. Yeah.
Come be a part of it. Come inside, because like we're talking about, which is when we go and there's 1,000 cars everywhere, and we got a little table set up trying to show people our art as well. We're also walking around, checking out every car, asking questions, taking photos, supporting the show, buying the merch, doing all that stuff. Even though we're
in my area, and then just in the surrounding area, throughout the summer and car show season, you can pretty much find a car show every weekend.
Yeah.
But how many art shows can you find every weekend?
Right.
Exactly.
That are dedicated to cars.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And it's not only, we're not only bringing in like cartoonist type artists and pinstripers and things. Like this year we had a graffiti artist.
Yeah.
And he did graffiti and printmaking.
Yep.
But how he related to everything was, as far as I'm concerned, for one, that's a part of the culture. And he himself was a gearhead. He had vintage mopeds, worked on vintage mopeds. And he was also into BMX, so which is kind of a part of the whole culture of it.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, and then last year we had this artist that was a jewelry artist, which we typically don't have too many of that, but she for her art business, she drives a hearse.
Nice.
And she also had a classic VW. You know, so
Yeah.
what? But we're not a theme show.
Right.
You know, we're not looking for artists just to do the theme of lowbrow custom culture. We're looking for artists that are in lowbrow.
Right. Yeah. And there's a good mix of that for sure.
I'm sorry.
There was a good mix of that too.
Yeah. No, very cool. Steve Heinrich said that he wants a spot next year as well. So I hope you're jotting these names down, Dennis. And then Thomas Estrada said artists are the best people to run an event like this because they get it. You understand.
Yeah.
Gordon LaFave wants to know, is there any way for those who can't be there in person, can they buy featured art online or bid on your charity auction? The auction is just,
unfortunately, so no.
Yeah, the charity is just at the event.
Because it's short, fast, quick, and done.
Yeah.
And again, just to preface it, to kind of clear up some of the stuff that we had said last week or talking about the show. So the auction itself is a bonus deal that, out of the amazing grace of Menace's heart is just this added cool thing that all of us artists are involved in offering up some pieces to be auctioned off. And the benefit of that is the bonus part is he chooses some charities and some people get helped out, which is great. But the whole, that is not the sole. This is not a charity event. It is not he's not a charity organization. So it's just something to where artists, we're following Menace's lead, which is his idea is like, hey, would you mind, giving a piece up because we're going to do an auction because at the end of the show, and then I'm going to take that money and we're going to, and it's places local, which is cool.
Right.
So it's a way to give back to your area too, which is awesome.
Sorry, go ahead.
It goes to children's hospitals every year.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Local children's hospitals, and that's where it goes every year because I personally I take some of my coloring books and I donate them around Halloween to the children's hospitals for the children that are in there on Halloween and don't get to go trick-or-treating. Because I make these monster coloring books and I just think it's, I've been doing it ever since I created them. And so I just like working with the children's hospitals and I just think it's a worthy cause personally. And Joe Pfeiffer and I, we discussed which ones that we donate to, and we donate to two specific ones. I don't necessarily, I don't promote them in any kind of way, like most of our art is kind of rebellious. So I don't really necessarily want to like tie their name to it. I don't think they would want to either.
Yeah.
I mean, I will post the receipts after we donate, but I mean, some lowbrow art is just, but we're not a charity organization. The charity is live. It's going to be fast. It's going to be quick. It's going to end the show. As soon as it's over, the show is over. I promoted the charity auction real heavy this year. I'm not going to do that as much next year. I'm definitely not going to do that because it gives people a mistaken impression, unfortunately. It's like my donations to the hospitals. I used to talk about those coloring book donations a lot because I enjoyed doing it. And then I would have people come up to me at car shows and they'd be talking to their friend and they'd go, oh, and he donates all of his money to and I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, I never said that. I'm sorry.
False impression.
Unfortunately, sometimes, things get mistaken. But it's just something I enjoy doing. It's a great little aspect to give back to the community where, that's supporting us. Because the show, to get back to the show, like, we're trying to do this custom culture lowbrow show. And even the general public, tends to be hugely excited about this show because they typically don't get to see this kind of artwork.
Right.
Yep.
In a normal art market, because just like there's so many car shows in my area, there's also St. Louis has a huge artist community, and there's so many art shows almost every weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
But an art show of this type is absolutely completely different for the air, for everything. So
I can see that. Yeah.
What I will say to answer Gordon's question, Gordon, as you did, and thank you, buddy. Menace does put the list of the artists that are at the show, and I'll guarantee you every single one of those artists went home the next week and started posting a lot of the art that they were not able to sell at this show, like myself.
Right.
And trying to still make art that was created for that show that didn't maybe move, or and again, we're hoping to sell stuff, but a lot of it, I specifically made specific pieces for that show and spent time. But I was so excited about just the camaraderie and the time spent together, and just having the opportunity to meet new people, and just to have people look at my art was the most amazing thing. And of course, if we can sell some stuff, that's amazing too. But I'll tell you, a lot of those artists are still selling art that they've created. I'm sure, Menace, you've probably got some pieces from the show that you've probably put up that are available for sale as well. So just look at the artists that were on Menace's list that were in that show.
We still have some show shirts from Von Franco available on thorazinetwostep.com.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, we're up there right now because we're going to do another order, and then we still have some left over that if we have your size, we'll fill it and ship it. And then if not, whatever size you order, we're about to do a pre-order, and we'll add that to the pre-order.
Nice.
And then as soon as they're printed, we'll ship them. But we're, that Von Franco shirt that we had this year is so cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's Von Franco. Come on, he brought Ed Roth out of retirement. How much more custom culture and lowbrow can you get?
Yeah, that's there's the pinnacle of, for sure.
And I'm sorry, where can people go again get it? What was the website again?
thorazinetwostep.com.
Oh, so all together, no dashes, no dots.
.com.
Okay. Just the .com.
There you go.
So there you have it, guys. Head on over to that website. And then is some of your art on there as well as the t-shirts?
My art is available as well.
There you go. Any cool pieces that you're working on now?
Yeah, we're working on that. We're planning the van. Myself and Van Gogh. We're planning the van, and he's mentoring me to learn pinstriping and lettering.
Nice.
And then I got set up to vend a all chopper show next year.
Nice.
Oh.
And so I sent them my website to check out my work, and they, absolutely, we'd like to have you vend. And then about a week later, they came back to me and they said, "Hey, we love your artwork. Can you do the show poster for us?"
Oh, that's
right
so
on,
cool.
man. Congrats.
Very cool.
And so the show is called Hell on Wheels Chopper Show.
Nice.
Fun.
And it's the 8th one, and it's in Franklin, Iowa, and it's going to be in August.
Iowa. Where is that?
Yeah, it's going to be in August.
From you? How far away from you is that?
Maybe 3 hours or so. It's not in Iowa as Vintage Torque Fest is.
Okay.
It's closer to me than Vintage Torque Fest, which I always go to.
Okay.
And Vintage Torque Fest, I'm currently working on helping them with Asphalt Fiend's coloring book. Johnny?
Yes.
And I will be hitting you up for a submission too.
Please do.
You've been in that one before, right?
A couple times.
Yeah.
For John Wells. It's John Wells' book, and the book goes to Helping Hannah's Heart charity. And it's a collection of lowbrow custom culture artists in a coloring book. And what I do is I volunteer and I curate and collect all the art and all the info. And then I hand it all to John. all wrapped up, and then he just sends it to the printer, and then we make a book.
Very cool.
And it's super cool book too. A very, very awesome quality. And you definitely want to grab one because I've been collecting them. Fortunate enough to be in a few of them, but I've been collecting them too because there's.
I'm sorry. Johnny's been in there several times. Big Toe was in there last year.
Amazing artist in there.
Yeah.
Oh, we just lost her.
We're back.
Oh, we're back.
We got you still?
I'm here.
Okay.
We got the death wheel for 10 seconds.
Spinning wheel.
Sorry about that.
Great.
But it's a cool coloring book, and you definitely want to when the new one comes out, you definitely want to grab multiple copies because it's a coloring book. So once you color, at one time, go back and do it again, and it goes to a great charity too.
Art.org too.
Say it one more time.
Back issues are available on helpinghannahsheart.org.
Okay.
There you go.
Great.
What else we got here? Who's chiming in?
Well, Thomas Estrada said I'll do it again. So I guess he was in the book as well.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Lefebvre said you have shown some of your items before going to the show. Maybe other artists could do the same. So we that aren't familiar will see what is available or post websites to research.
Sometimes it's hard. Like when you're prepping for an art show, I'll tell you this, Gordon. So when you're prepping for an art show, a lot of times you're trying not to share what you're creating because you want it to be fresh when people get there.
Yeah.
2, you want to make sure because listen, I'm watching everybody, all the other artists that are going to the show too, for this reason, which is, man, I sure hope I don't do something that's similar to somebody else's doing. You know what I mean? Because I tried a totally different thing this year.
And you also psyched yourself out, Dennis.
Yeah.
I don't know if this happens to you.
Totally psyched myself
He
out.
was watching what everybody else was doing, and he's like, "Oh my god, their stuff is so good. My stuff isn't that good. I don't even know if I should be there."
I was like, hey, maybe I ought to just we'll just go and we'll just kind of hang out.
I'm bringing artists that are way better than me.
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah.
You're still cool. I dig it.
I'm still just in awe of how you put this thing together. This is our second year coming to this show.
It was smooth and it was really fun.
It really was. Like and I know a lot of work goes into it. I couldn't tell you the ins and outs, but you handled it well.
Yeah.
And you had somebody, it was Tabby, you said, Hector, your friend Hector's wife, was coming around checking on us and making sure we were good and we had everything we needed. Like I felt supported by the show management. Well, that's what you want to call it.
There was a moment where we were trying to make room for everybody and get everybody to fit in our section, and then I think we mentioned like, oh, does somebody have like a side table we could use? And the next thing you know, it's a side table showed up.
Side table. We had comfy, cushy chairs.
And then we're like, someone else was asking for that. Everybody was like helping. Drag Daddy gave me a bunch of his sheets to cover my table.
Yeah.
And everybody's just trying so hard for everybody to have such a good time. And that's the part, again, that I loved about the show. And I've been to other things where artists have been at, and it's just not the same vibe as this one is, which is everybody's just like, it's camaraderie, and it doesn't feel like competition or, hey, how are you? I got to do more than that guy, or, oh man, I don't know. What are they pricing there? That kind of stuff. It very much felt so like everybody was like, man, I hope everybody does good.
What was really cool is at one point, Johnny was like, hey, go downstairs and go check it out. You take a break and go downstairs. Cause I was manning the table the whole time. So I grabbed some of our Johnny Jalopy stickers and I just went down to every table, introduced myself and handed them a sticker. And I'm like, hey, I'm from the Johnny Jalopy booth upstairs, just checking out your stuff. Want to say hi. It's so good to meet you. And like everybody was giving me back a sticker. Like we did a sticker trade. And I was like, this is fantastic. We came home with everybody's stickers.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just so neat to have the one-on-one, but everybody was just so willing to give when I was giving them something. Like it was it was really wonderful.
So you did a great job, Dennis. You've created an amazing vibe of the show itself is just very like positive, and it all comes from the person that runs it.
Yeah.
And the people that run it. So high five to you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have so many volunteers, honestly, that help me to, get everybody situated in the morning. day of, I have so many volunteers. I have people in the background helping me make decisions. I'm spearheading everything, but I have a lot of help doing this. And and I, like during the show, Tabby and Hector and Joe and Pat and Amanda Lannis, they are also phenomenally helpful. The first couple years, Pat was right next to my side the whole time, helping me manage everything. He kind of let me go on my own a little bit more this year.
You went rogue.
Yeah. But the the excitement, the artists, my job is to generate excitement, but the thing is the artists are getting excited about this.
Yeah.
Artists themselves are like, you're excited about, you're generating a lot of excitement about this. And I feel like if the artists are excited, then the whole show is going to go over well, because they're going to be having fun and interacting with the public, and the public's going to enjoy it more, and because if we're not bringing in the public and the public's not enjoying the show, well, it's not going to.
Right.
Well, and I don't know how other people view it, but whenever we go to a show, yeah, we want to make a couple bucks, but our goal is always, let's just go and make a positive impact. Let's, meet with people, get to know new people, help out however we can. Like, that's always our goal.
Get the name out there.
It's always about our own self-promotion. And then if we sell a few things, it's a bonus. But I feel like when you go with that attitude that the sales are there. I mean, we did really well at your show.
Yeah.
The response I had from everybody was that everyone did really well.
Good. That's awesome. That's so good to hear.
That was the response. They couldn't stop telling me, how much they did well and how they'd be back. And I'm like, well, I have spaces and I have to rotate people sometimes. So just discuss things, I don't want to call it invite only, but because I don't want it to sound that exclusive or anything, but we do have to rotate things to be able to keep fresh faces. Right. And there's a lot of artists that I've been hoping to bring to the show that haven't been able to make it for whatever reason.
Right.
And then there's some artists that, they couldn't be there, that were there the years before because they had other scheduling conflicts.
Right.
Because art is their full-time job, and sometimes they have scheduling conflicts, and so they could not, make it, that were there years before, which is, honestly, for me, that's totally all right, because it leaves it open for me to try and bring someone that hasn't been there before.
Right.
So basically he's telling us to not assume we'll be there next year.
That's what he's saying.
Oh, I don't want anybody to assume that, honestly. Not you, but I mean, I can't.
No. I'll send my check for $100 your way and see if I can. No, just kidding.
The live auction, last year was the first year we tried to do a panel jam. Okay. For the live auction. This is my new cat, Hachi.
Guys,
anyway, we tried to do a panel jam, and we just didn't have enough people and the timing and everything else. So we were going to do a panel jam for charity, but we also had a gallery going on. Because we had a car in the building. We had Brandon Von Elrod had brought Neil Sitter's Outlaw, which was an outlaw body that was made by Ed Roth.
Right.
Neil Sitters had made a hot rod out of it, and then it had gotten dilapidated, and Brandon brought it back to life with help. And he brought that, and that was in the building, and that was in our essentially art gallery. And everything that was in the art gallery, there was a percentage that went to charity. So we still we still the first year ended up raising $1,500 to go to charity, but the panel jam idea was just, we discussed it and we were like, let's not do that again. There's enough panel jams and let's not do that. And then the gallery didn't really work out very well either. Let's not do that either. And so last year was the very first year of the auction. That's why it was a little unorganized.
Still successful though.
Yeah.
And Johnny stepped up as the auctioneer because I was just, I was going to try and wing it like everything else and be the auctioneer. And Pat was helping me, Pat, my brother from another mother and twin.
Yep.
And, but Johnny stepped up and did the auctioneer part and just killed it. He
Johnny lives for this, Dennis. He lives
killed it.
Yeah.
And I was, and I honestly, I desperately wanted you guys back again this year, just because, first of all, I love your art. I've been a fan of your art for years. And that's one of the things about the show too, is I'm a fan of all these artists. I'm an artist, but I'm a fan of art. You saw me buying art in the auction. And
yes, I did.
I bought art from artists at the show. Because like I say, my house is absolutely filled with Kustom Kulture art.
Yeah.
But that, that auction, so far, that second year, we doubled that 1,500 to $3,000 that we were able to donate. And then this year, the auction started off real slow and there was not a lot of people down there because it was kind of late in the day and everybody was done.
Right.
And it started off slow and then all of a sudden people came out of nowhere and we started to get some real good bids on things.
Yeah.
And some of the artists were really worried, with it being slow and not many people. And they were concerned. They were like, you can't just give this stuff away. And I'm like, well, you're going to watch me. Because it's going to sell for what it's going to sell for. And we're going to do this. And, and if we raise any money for charity, then we're doing good because that's not a charity organization. So if we do any kind of money at all, we're good. And then the total surprised me. The total surpassed by almost another 1,500. So the total was 4,400 this year.
That's fantastic.
That's so good.
And that's just for a short, quick, fast.
Yeah,
it was an hour.
It didn't feel like it felt like a blur. It was like 10 minutes is what it felt like.
Honestly, we're going to keep the auction to an hour pretty much.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Continue to be short and fast.
Yeah,
it's going to continue to be at the end of the show. When the auction's over, the show will be over.
Yeah,
we're going to move the auction items and the auction upstairs.
Nice.
And that way it'll be easier to announce and people will, it'll be more prolific.
Yeah.
We're going to have signs that people we didn't have any signs on the auction.
Right.
We're learning, I'm not a promoter, so we're learning.
Right. Well, and again, like you said, the auction is the bonus part. So it's not out of the that you didn't think of signage and how do we promote it more, because that wasn't your main focus wasn't the auction itself. I get it.
Artists that to the Midwest and to St. Louis that people don't get to see.
Yeah.
And bringing Kustom Kulture art to the to the general public and the local area. We had people coming in from Chicago and Kansas and just people to attend the show.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
we had some folks that traveled pretty good distance that come to our table and mentioned. And so
I had to Bob with Evil Shindig, because Evil Shindig runs from Thursday to Saturday that same weekend. So Evil Shindig is over Saturday, and there's a lot of people I know that will go to Evil Shindig and attend Evil Shindig and then boot scooted over here to Missouri. And show me lowbrow.
Right.
Because Evil Shindig is over by Sunday and show me lowbrow is Sunday. And we end up typically on the same weekend, typically.
Gotcha.
You know,
that's cool. We can get them on the way back, right?
But it would, great show.
So it would be awesome, you know, again, to those that are listening out there, who aren't specifically lowbrow custom culture artists, but you are in a part of the culture. And again, as it's been stated, the way it's always been done is that the artists are always there to support the car shows themselves. And it would be amazing to see that thing flipped to where we start seeing a lot more of the car folks that are collectors of art and enjoy the artwork itself, showing up in droves with their vehicles out in the parking lot, but coming in to immerse themselves in look at the art and purchase art and stuff like that, and meet these amazing artists that you get to, you know, some of them you see in magazines. Not there's a lot of magazines now, but that you see online and that you see at different shows. Are coming to these shows, and some amazing talent that you haven't seen before that are up and comers that have really there's some cool artists that are out there. And that's what, again,
that have been on TV at the show.
That's true. One time.
I mean, we've got people that have designed cartoon cars on TV at the show. I mean, how, you know,
feel free to promote that.
I don't want to name drop.
As soon as you have all the details together and you get your list together of people that you're inviting next year, let us know whether we're on the list or not. We're going to be promoting it for you.
We'll definitely talk more, because Johnny, you mentioned on your last podcast wanting to potentially do a show in Florida.
Yes.
And I just like there's no competition between the artists at my show, I have no competition between my show and other shows. Like, I'm working with the guys in England with the Kustom Kulture Blast Off.
That's cool.
And No Life is Low Life. I'm working with the Weirdo Art Show in Australia.
Very good.
I attend Dennis McPhail's Customville in Wichita, and maybe one year I can get McPhail to come to the show. And you know, so as far as like the show and everything going on, like we're going to have some conversations.
That'd be good, because I would love to, you know,
I'd love to see you do it too.
My thought is that, you know, again, how there's not much of that going on here, but there is a car scene, but it's one of those things that I think isn't being utilized. Or there was a time when I first moved to Florida. So when when I started was early on in you know, getting to know everybody's art and stuff. And I remember in St. Pete, you know, we're right down the street from us, they did have a lowbrow art show. And, you know, I remember hearing that, you know, Nate Greco and Wiesner showed up and Zombie showed up. And there was all these guys, you know, all these guys from West Coast came out to the show. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, and I didn't get to go. And I was like, oh, maybe next year I can go to the show, or maybe I can get my stuff in there. And then they never had it again. And it never happened ever again. There's like tattoo stuff and things like that in our area, but not specifically like a lowbrow art thing. So I think it'd be cool. And again, your show has inspired me to even think about trying to do something like that down here.
And ours would be probably like January. So it wouldn't at all.
Yeah. Well, no, not even so much that, but it would be neat to, because again, thinking about how you described it was beautiful the way you described it, which is it's the end of the car show season to the Midwest,
right?
And East Coast, and you know, West Coast, for it goes on forever. They don't care in Texas and all that stuff, but sure. You know, Florida is where it starts to get where it's nice here, and you're not dying, and you could put artwork outside without, you know, sweating your ass.
Oh, sure.
So it'd be so cool to do something like that. But I would love to pick your brain and and talk more on the
sure,
the nitty gritties of it, because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that most folks don't understand that you do go through trying to put a show on, because as you just stated, as we were talking earlier, trying to wear all the hats of like promoter but not be a promoter, be an artist and be a part of the show but not take away from the show, but be a part of the show, and then make sure everybody else is having a good time at the show, but yet make sure that you're doing good at the show too.
We would need a crew.
There's a lot, and then just the setup of the merchandise and making sure and I know that just with creating art, you're like, man, I hope the poster we make this year is hot and people like it. And then do we get who made the t-shirts this year? Like the Von Franco artwork for this t-shirt this year is amazing. And so those are things that you're like, oh man, I hope this works out great. And there's just so many factors that I don't think anybody thinks about when they think of someone putting a show on, how many things there are to consider. And you nailed so many of them well, that for it only being the third show, you would think you'd been doing it for a long time, man. So again, high five to you and kudos to your crew that you got that you have helping you out.
And I know you don't like to travel, but you would be invited to our show.
Of course.
Absolutely. I'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be so much
no,
fun.
I do like to travel. I do. Don't get me wrong. I like to travel. It's just nice to be able to not get a hotel room for one show.
For a Sunday.
Listen, that's why we love staying with you. We don't have to stay in a hotel. We say breakfast and coffee.
And I haven't been to Florida since I was young, so I would love to come out there.
Oh man,
we got a room.
Listen, anytime you want to come out, dude, we got a room.
Yeah,
come hang out. You definitely don't want to come in the summer, but come in your winter, our summer. It's
that'd be phenomenal.
Well, we're past the hour, so we may have to have you on again, man, and talk more about art and other things.
Things are progressing.
So excited for you! Congratulations on the on that Chopper show. So pumped for you. I hope your art continues to grow, and I hope you continue to gain more and more followers. Menace creates some amazingly cool art, so check out his artwork as well.
thorazinetwostep.com.
And definitely when the show starts getting talked about again, it's a show you want to make. It's worth the travel. It is a one-day show, but I'm telling you, it is worth it. It's a great venue.
And apparently a lot of free things to do right in the area.
And there's lots to do. It's a beautiful, we kind of fell in love with the place.
I love it.
I didn't mean to tell on Mike, but
that's okay.
If it wasn't for the fact that there's snow,
sure.
And what's the other thing? Oh, not hurricanes, but the tornadoes. We'd love every part of it. Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, it was certainly a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for coming on and sharing a little bit about the show. And we're really excited to hear what you come up with for next year. Yep. And we're hoping to be a part of it again if you'd have us.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
We make sure we can try to get on that list.
Thank you so much for coming to the show. Like, I truly appreciate everybody that has showed up to the show. I really truly appreciate everybody that's supporting what I'm trying to do.
Of course.
Well, you're killing it, man, and keep the good work.
I have to say one more thing, and thank you to the general public for showing up.
Yes, for sure.
Without you, this wouldn't happen at all.
That's right.
In all of it. Yeah.
All
keep supporting your local artists. Dennis Menace and I will both say that. Well, Ity-B will include it because but keep supporting your Kustom Kulture artists as you see things online and these folks trying to sell their art and show you art. I've had the fortunate where, and Menace, I'm sure you feel the same way. You've got some people that purchase things here and there and they keep it going for you and just continue to share with your friends and that kind of stuff because art is amazing and it's what keeps the culture going too. Without the art, then it's just cars and then there's no culture, it's just cars. So keep it up, keep doing what you're doing, Menace. We love you, man, and hang out a sec. We're gonna sign off and then we'll come back to you and tell you later, but so if you can hang out for a minute, we'll be back.
And for all of you out there, we will be back next Monday. So stay tuned for another sketchy adventure.
That's right. So another Monday night in the books. Don't forget to head over to the website, johnnyjalopy.com, where you can get hat stickers and of course, keep an eye out for art that's available. I keep sharing it on a daily basis. I've been trying. I still have art available from the Show Me Lowbrow Art Show I've been posting. And lots more art to come, more t-shirts on the way, more stickers, all that kind of good stuff. So we sure appreciate you. Have an amazing week. And don't forget to stay sketchy. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Bye.